ISUPK.
We want no cowards in our camp, in our camp. Only men prepare to die. We want no cowards in our camp, in our camp. Never let their brothers die. We want no cowards in our camp, in our camp. Only men prepare to die.
All right, shalom, brothers and sisters. This is the Hebrew Israelite breaking news. We have an article from sofrep.com. Guatemala prepares to declare a state of emergency in communities wrought with drug violence. This is from May 14th. Okay, and so-called white men flooded these places with drugs, and now he's looking shocked and surprised when they have to declare states of emergency due to drug violence, if you will. Okay, a state of emergency may soon be declared by the Guatemalan government in two municipalities bordering Mexico due to the proliferation of drug trafficking groups in the region. Okay, troops from the Guatemalan military have been dispatched to stabilize the area and stem the flow of heroin into their country. Okay, everybody's boo-hooing about the opiate prescription use amongst the so-called white man in rural communities. No one's talking about the flow of drugs through Central America. That's not a disease. That's not a syndrome. He's declaring a state of emergency and he's sending troops once again, which is what we covered in the Brazilian article about Brazil. He wants to pacify. He thinks to handle you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians with troops. He handles them himself and his own opiate addiction. And it's like his opiate addiction, he handles it with syndrome and with the doctor and with lawsuits. What does he think to do with you? He thinks to send troops, fully armed troops, to the so-called black, Hispanic, or Native American Indian communities, man. Troops from the Guatemalan military have been dispatched to stabilize the area and stem the flow of heroin into their country. The Ichiguan and Tajumulco municipalities of Guatemala have been the site of bloody warfare between Mexican drug cartels and criminal gangs competing to control the drug trafficking routes in the area, leaving residents caught in the crossfire. Let's get the scriptures on this. Okay, because once again it was prophesied in the scriptures that a people would be cursed for not following the laws of the Most High. Who are those people? Those people are clearly the so-called Guatemalans, man. Their cities and the countries that they live in, so-called Central Americans, man, are racked with violence, man. Why? Because they disobeyed the order the Most High gave them to keep His laws, statutes, and commandments. And the same goes for you, so-called blacks and so-called Native American Indians. This is Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, and the 16th verse. Deuteronomy 28:16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. It doesn't matter, in Guatemala especially, man, it doesn't matter whether you're in the cities, right? These were municipalities, right? Or it doesn't matter if you're in the field or you're in the rural area. The troops brutalized the so-called Ixilmaya in the rural areas of Central America, of Guatemala, from during the 1980s. They brutalized those people there in the rural areas. They were cursed in the field, and the people that moved to the cities in Guatemala are cursed in the cities. They're sending troops. They're sending ground troops to your so-called cities, man, to stem the flow, to stop the violence that these cartels are doing to the residents. When as in the 1980s to the Ixilmaya, it's mostly the ground troops and the army that's doing the killing and the murdering and the extermination upon the local so-called Guatemalans, which are Israelites, man. These are our brothers, and they go through the same curses as you so-called blacks in America, man. And that's a fact. That's a truth. We just proved it, man. Let me read the second paragraph again. Ichiguan and Tajumulco, Salaki if I'm mispronouncing that, municipalities of Guatemala have been the site of bloody warfare between Mexican drug cartels and criminal gangs competing to control the drug trafficking routes in the area, leaving the residents caught in the crossfire. Though these residents are caught in the crossfire, and though the people of Guatemala have been brutalized no matter where they go, though they've gone under the curses of the Most High, as the so-called blacks, all blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians have, Most High said that he would re-strengthen them. You're going to get re-strengthened. You're going to get life if you keep his laws, statutes, and commandments, man. If you don't eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster, these ground troops will no longer be in your neighborhoods, man. The cops will no longer be in your neighborhoods. National troops will no longer be in your neighborhoods if you keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. This is the book of Psalms in the King James Version, chapter 29. Psalms chapter 29 and verse 11. The Lord will give strength unto his people. Unto all people? Unto his people. These so-called Guatemalans are in Catholicism, so they think that Jesus Cristo is white, okay, and he's coming to save everybody. No, the Most High is giving strength unto his people and his son, okay, who you know as Jesus. His name is Yahushua in the Hebrew. He's giving strength to his people. Okay, he's coming back to give strength to the Guatemalans, to the Puerto Ricans, to the Haitians, to the so-called black man here in America, okay, to the so-called Native American Indian man, okay. He's going to give strength to his people, the 12 tribes of Israel. The Lord will give strength unto his people. The Lord will bless his people with peace. Why is it called a blessing? Why is it called a blessing, which is a gift, if you will? Because there's a group of people, the Most High's people don't have peace, man. The Most High's people, they have troops. Okay, they have troops sent to their towns, man. They have their towns and their countries put in states of emergency. His people don't have peace. Well, the Most High is going to give blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians peace. He's going to give the Guatemalans peace if they follow him and keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. And that has been the Hebrew Israelite breaking news. Shalom, brothers and sisters.
We want no cowards in our camp,